Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 1. Let's get started! Alright, Act 3 and Scene 1. There is a lot to talk about in this scene because, firstly, let's go for a bit of a brief summary! Obviously, we can't use things like metal rulers for swords, even though that might be cool, so I'll just use these little fake swords. You have to imagine them yourselves. I have a better idea. I will use this instead, a nail bar, but let's not get into that enough. Firstly, Benvolio and Mercutio are on the street, and sword in their buckles, they're like, Romeo, Romeo! But Benvolio is anxious at meeting the Capulets because he does not want another brawl. So then Tybalt enters, looking for Romeo for like a duel. Ah, I challenge you to a duel! This should be Stormbreaker. But then Mercutio is easily provoked by Tybalt after he realized that Romeo said, I love all Capulets, I love all Montagues. The Montague part makes sense, but the Capulet part, not to them. To us, it probably does, but not to them. They still don't understand it at all, for obvious reasons. So then Romeo tries to stop the fight between Mercutio and Tybalt. Tybalt stabs Mercutio, and he dies. Wang, 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 wang. So Romeo then goes into a little bit of a haste and kills Tybalt because of Mercutio's death. He turns on Tybalt, killing him, and Romeo flees. So the prince learns of the details of the fight and is angered by it, but he realizes that it's not Romeo's fault. Even though it was his fault that Tybalt died, it's mainly Tybalt's fault to make this brawl happen anyway. 2 people died today. So instead of killing him to a death sentence, the prince sentenced him to banishment from Verona. That's way worse than death in their cases. We'll find out later. Why is this scene important? There are a lot of ways and points that I have to make for this to make sense. This scene shows where the violence is briefly shown in Act 1, Scene 1 can lead. And we see that Romeo is also torn in the new marriage into the Capulet family and desire to protect and avenge his own kinsmen following Tybalt's attack. They still don't get why he said, I love all Capulets. The scene also provides evidence of such these circumstances that can turn a peaceful man into a killer. It is at this point in the play that events turn against Romeo and threaten his future against Juliet. Meaning that if this is God or Fate's sword or axe, then Romeo's sword would be my hand. Yeah. So clearly, fate is not on his side. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode when we'll be discussing Act 3, Scene 2. And see you then. Schneid out. Peace. Whee!